fam, my name is Sharice Alvarez. I'm here today with a great friend. Her name is Zuleika Lebron Guzman. She today is here. We want to talk to you a little bit today about a great ministry that she just launched this year in 2018. Zuleika, I want to talk to you a little bit today about this great ministry that you just launched. Talk to us about your new website that you just launched fresh for 2018, ShePrayed.com. Talk to us about this great ministry.
The goal of the She Prayed website is to heal, inspire, and empower women. That is the goal and the mission of the ministry. And we want to do that through the media, word, and through the power of the gospel. So we launched off with the website, and our goal is to every Monday have a woman submit a testimony and us share it through word. And also promote the word through going on Facebook Live or YouTube Live and preaching the gospel. And we also want to add on interviews such as these and TV shows that we want and have in the works and are praying to God for. So that's what She Prayed is. The goal is to empower women, heal them, deliver them through the power of the gospel in any way or form that we can do that.
Something about an annual event, When She Prays. Talk to the people about that, When She Prays.
So When She Prays, 2018 is the second year that we are doing it, and it opens up in worship. It's followed by panels, and in those panels they're composed of interviews where we ask women difficult questions about things that they've gone through that perhaps they might not be asked in a regular church service. And we want them to confront it head on and also at the same time reveal to other women how they overcame it. And this year we'll be talking about sexual abuse, domestic violence, loss, miscarriage, and postpartum depression. And we really want to bring that forward. We close out in word and we end in a prayer line where we actually lay hands alongside pastors and ministers of the same state. Different states come together and we physically lay hands on every woman, because our belief is that through that we'll see signs and wonders and we'll see women being delivered through the power of the gospel.
Awesome. I think those topics are all timely. I think they're all relevant to the things that women are enduring today, be them Christian, within the walls of the church and outside the walls of the church. And so that's going to be something amazing. And so for anyone who's watching today, talk to us this When She Prays event along with ShePrayed.com. That sounds really intimate and personal. Tell us where you pulled that from.
Well, it was born last year. We did the first When She Prays, 2017. And it was something that God asked me to do after I lost my son in 2015. It was my second miscarriage, but this one was different because it was 16 weeks into the loss. And I had to physically deliver my baby and hold him and say goodbye. And when I went home, I just didn't know what to do with the pain. It was like a hole in my heart and I couldn't find anything or anyone to replace it. I knew what God wanted me to do and I knew what was expected of me. Since I was preaching since I was 9, I felt that I had this expectancy of, well, you're a minister, you're expected to recover quickly, you're expected to just keep on going. And I didn't know what to do with that. You know, I kept serving in the church and it did help, it did ease the pain, but I was so thirsty for something. I was thirsty for a miracle, but I didn't even realize that I stopped believing in miracles, because my pain was so great and my grief was so strong that it just overcame me and it blurred everything that I believed from God. And so when I walked in through the doors of High Place Church, it was as if the heavens opened. And if grief was a man, God reached down and pulled that man and kicked him out. And ever since then, which is actually January of last year, I was set free. I was delivered. And I was reminded of what God can do in an instant. For a course of a year, I suffered and I tried to find satisfaction in different wells, and it wasn't working. And what worked was the same thing that I was taught since I was a child, the power of the gospel.
Yes.
And that's where God told me, okay, now you're not just going to be healed, but you need to be free.
Yeah.
And when freedom came, God said, okay, now I want you to tell other people your story. And I said, God, I don't want to be the spokesperson of miscarriage and loss. That's not the person I want to be. You want me to preach? Fine. But me, be the face of, no, I don't want to do that. But I said, okay, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to do this event. So I reached out to my first lady, and who was sitting right beside me. And I asked her thinking that she was going to be like, well, you're new to the church, you know, take it easy. But she said yes.
Yes.
And we did the event, and I did it out of obedience. And God showed up because women showed up. I thought we were going to be alone. But God did his thing and it was beautiful, and we cried and we laughed and we were healed together.
Yes.
And this year God said, I don't want your obedience only. I want your passion behind it. So this year it's obedience and passion, and we're doing When She Prays 2018. And we're doing it with all we got. We have a team that is formed, and we're working hard to make it happen. And that's where it was born, out of obedience and passion and reminder of what God can do.
Talk to us about that last part of When She Prays. What portion of that of When She Prays becomes so intimate? Did you get that literally out of the Bible and Scripture? Where did you get that portion from?
Yes, when I read the story of Hannah in 1 Samuel, she was so grieved that she couldn't conceive. And she was so bothered with Peninnah that it pushed her to a place of prayer.
Yes.
Where people thought she was crazy. And I felt that was me when I walked in through the doors of this church, because it was my last resort. I was just like, okay, God, this is the last thing that I have, and all I have is to lift up my hands and just go along with the worship and everything that's happening. But deep inside, this is just pushing me to a place where I need to see a miracle. So I associate with Hannah, because the Bible says that she prayed, and when she prayed, God remembered her. But when God remembered her and she received her blessing in her arms, the first thing that she did and she promised to God was that she was going to dedicate it back to Him.
Yes.
And even though I haven't conceived yet, this is me moving in faith and the promise that I'm birthing something different right now in this season of my life. And so I'm dedicating it back to the Lord. Because I believe that as women, when God answers our prayer and God remembers us, what we need to do is take it right back into His hands and see where He can take it and how He can elevate. And that's where that comes from.
That's profound. And so if you're listening to this message today, I want you to log on to this website. I want you to log on and be part of this blog. I want for every woman that's watching to tell someone else who perhaps can identify with maybe just Suleika's story, or perhaps any of the topics that we just mentioned in this interview. It can bring healing. It can be the gateway to freedom for their life. And so I want anyone who's watching, become part of this ministry. Log on to someone who was so passionate today, and look forward to our 2018 event, When She Prays, coming spring 2018.
Yes.